The news spread like wildfire. Abner was dead, murdered. The mighty warrior struck down. His death sent shockwaves through Israel. None felt it more keenly than Ishbosheth, Abner's king.
I relied heavily on Abner's strength and counsel. Now, with Abner gone, fear gnaws at my heart. I am vulnerable, alone.
Ishbosheth, ruler of a divided kingdom, was weak. The kingdom mirrored its king's fear. Abner had been a symbol of unity, a beacon of hope. His death extinguished that hope, plunging Israel into deeper despair. The fragile peace, already strained, threatened to shatter completely. The future seemed bleak. Would this be the final blow for Ishbosheth's struggling reign? Or could he find the strength to lead his people through the darkness? Only time would tell. In the shadows, whispers began, whispers of treachery, of betrayal. Two names were on everyone's lips, Baanah and Rechab, two brothers, soldiers in Ishbosheth's army. Baanah and Rechab were Benjamites, fierce and proud. They were loyal to the memory of Saul, Ishbosheth's father. But their loyalty was twisted, poisoned by resentment. They saw Ishbosheth as weak, unfit to rule. They believed he was an obstacle to the true king's return, the lineage of Saul. And in their hearts a dangerous seed was sown, a seed of ambition, of violence. They would avenge Saul, they told themselves. They would restore his lineage to power. They would become heroes. But first, they would become assassins. The midday sun beat down on Mahanaim, casting long shadows on the ancient palace walls. Inside the palace, Ishbosheth rested. He was weary, troubled by the weight of his crown and the unrest in his kingdom. He had no appetite, no will for the affairs of state. The untouched food on his table was a testament to his inner turmoil. He lay on his bed, seeking solace in sleep, hoping to escape his worries, if only for a moment. He did not hear the soft footsteps approaching, the harbingers of his doom. Did not see the shadows lengthen in the doorway, the silent promise of impending danger.
Baanah, we must be swift and silent. Our time has come. The moment we've waited for is here.
Yes, Rechab. For the house of Saul, we must not fail.
Baanah and Rechab slipped into the room, their hearts pounding with anticipation and fear. Their faces were grim, their movements swift and silent like shadows in the night. They had come for their king, the man who once held power over them. They had come to claim their gruesome prize, the end of Ishbosheth. They moved like wraiths, their blades glinting in the dim light, ready to strike. Ishbosheth stirred, a flicker of unease crossing his face, as if sensing the danger, but it was too late. The moment of reckoning had arrived. The brothers were upon him, their daggers flashing with deadly intent. A choked cry escaped his lips, then silence. The deed was done. The king was no more. The deed was done. Ishbosheth lay dead, his reign cut short. Baanah and Rechab stood over their victim, their chests heaving. The stench of blood filled the air. They had not come for plunder, for gold or jewels. They sought a different kind of prize, proof of their deed, a symbol of their loyalty to Saul's house. They took Ishbosheth's head. They wrapped it in cloth, concealing the grisly trophy. They fled Mahanaim, their hearts pounding with fear and exhilaration. They were killers now, their hands stained with royal blood. They journeyed south towards Hebron. David, Saul's rival, ruled there. They believed David would reward them for their deed. They believed they had done him a great service. They arrived at Hebron weary and travel-stained. They requested an audience with David, their manner confident. They presented their gruesome gift, Ishbosheth's head. They expected praise, reward. They expected David to be pleased. They had eliminated his rival, secured his throne, but David's face hardened, his eyes blazed with fury.
"You are murderers," he spat. "Traitors." He had not sought this, had not condoned this act. He mourned Ishbosheth, saw him as a fellow king, a worthy adversary. He denounced Baanah and Rechab, accusing them of unspeakable evil. They had betrayed their king, destabilized the land. They had committed a grave sin and they would face justice.
David ordered their immediate execution. There would be no reward, no glory, only the sharp bite of the sword. Their betrayal would not go unpunished. Baana and Rechab were seized, their faces pale with dawning horror. They had misjudged David, miscalculated his character. They had expected mercy but found only righteous anger. They were dragged away, their pleas for mercy echoing through the palace. Their ambition had led them down a dark path, a path that ended in blood and despair. Their death sent a clear message. David would not tolerate treachery. He would rule with justice, with honor. He would unite his kingdom, but not through bloodshed and deceit. Section 7, a king laid to rest. David ordered Ishbosheth's head to be buried with respect. He sent messengers to retrieve the body from Mahanaim. He would not allow his rival to be dishonored in death. Ishbosheth's remains were brought to Hebron. He was buried in Abner's tomb, a final act of unity. The two men, once rivals, now lay side by side. Their feud, at last, was over. People mourned Ishbosheth, recognizing his gentle nature, his desire for peace. They saw him as a victim, a pawn in a larger game. His death marked a turning point in their history. The house of Saul was no more, the lineage extinguished. David was the undisputed king of Israel, but his reign began with a somber note, a reminder of the cost of ambition and betrayal. Section 8, the weight of the crown. David sat on his throne, the weight of his crown heavy on his brow. The golden circlet was not just a symbol of power, but a reminder of the burdens he carried. He was king, yes, but at what cost? The echoes of battles fought and lives lost haunted his every thought. Blood had been spilled, lives lost. The cries of the fallen warriors still echoed in his ears, a constant reminder of the price of his reign. His heart ached for his divided people. The kingdom was fractured, and the wounds of civil strife ran deep. He knew the road ahead would be long and arduous. The path to unity and peace was fraught with challenges and uncertainties. He would need to unite his kingdom, heal the wounds of the past. Reconciliation was not just a political necessity, but a moral imperative. He would need to be a king worthy of his people's trust. Every decision, every action would be scrutinized by those who looked to him for guidance.
I swear an oath this day, an oath to lead with integrity and honor. I will rule with wisdom and compassion. My reign will be marked by understanding and empathy. I will seek justice, not vengeance. Fairness will be the cornerstone of my rule. I will strive to be a king who brings peace, not bloodshed, to my people. My goal is to create a legacy of harmony and prosperity.
He knew that true leadership lay not in conquest, but in unity. The strength of a kingdom was measured by the bonds of its people. He would honor Ishbosheth's memory by building a stronger, more just kingdom, a kingdom where every citizen felt valued and protected. That was the only tribute worthy of a king, a legacy of justice, peace, and unity. Section 9, Echoes of Betrayal. The tale of Ishbosheth's murder became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the dangers of ambition, the seductive power of greed. It served as a warning to future generations. It spoke of the corrosive nature of power, the ease with which it could corrupt even the most noble hearts. It highlighted the importance of loyalty, the need for integrity in leadership. It was a stark reminder that even in victory, there could be tragedy, that the pursuit of power could exact a heavy toll, leaving a trail of broken bodies and shattered dreams in its wake. The echoes of that ancient betrayal resonated through the ages, a timeless parable of human ambition and its consequences. It served as a stark reminder that the true cost of power is often paid in blood. Section 10, The Cycle of Violence. The murder of Ishbosheth marked not an end, but a beginning. It was a pivotal moment that set off a chain reaction, a spark that ignited a series of violent events. It was a link in a long chain of violence, a cycle of revenge that seemed to have no end. Each act of violence begetting another, creating a seemingly unbreakable loop of bloodshed and retribution. It begged the question, when would the bloodshed cease? The people, weary and disheartened, looked for a glimmer of hope, a sign that peace could be restored. Would David be able to break the cycle? Could he rise above the legacy of violence and bring about a new era? Could he usher in an era of peace and prosperity? The vision of a thriving kingdom where people lived in harmony seemed almost within reach. Or would his reign be consumed by the same flames that had devoured his predecessors? The spectre of war and conflict loomed large, threatening to engulf his efforts. But one thing was certain. The shadow of Ishbosheth's murder would loom large over David's reign, a constant reminder of the fragility of peace and the ever-present potential for violence. It was a burden he would carry, a challenge he would face every day.
The gruesome tale serves as a cautionary reminder for all time that the quest for power, if unchecked by morality and wisdom, can lead to a spiral of destruction, leaving only sorrow and ruin in its wake. The echoes of past violence reverberate through history, teaching us the importance of seeking peace and justice.
Indeed, David's path was fraught with challenges, but his resolve to bring peace would define his legacy. His journey was not just about power, but about the hope of a better future, a future where the cycle of violence could finally be broken.